Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole's, and their billion-dollar divorce is getting messier. According to the Daily Mail, Young is now attempting to subpoena 3 women she accuses of being Dr. Dre's mistresses: singer Jillian Spear, former model Kelly Anderson, and Latin hip-hop artist Crystal Rogers, in an effort to get the judge to toss out their prenuptial agreement. The esteemed producer says the agreement, which was signed in '96, is still valid, but Young claims he later tore it up in a spontaneous romantic gesture. Therefore, she believes the document doesn't hold any weight. The couple is waiting on a Los Angeles Superior Judge to determine whether the prenup is valid and enforceable. In the interim, Young is reportedly trying to subpoena depositions from Spear, Anderson, and Rogers, but they've all hired lawyer Chris LaFan to fight it. On Tuesday, LaFan filed a motion to dismiss the subpoenas, explaining one of the women have information relevant to the enforceability of the prenup. Young filed for divorce in June after 24 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences as the divorce proceedings begin to unfold. Young demanded nearly $2 million a month in temporary spousal support and another $5 million for attorney's fees. Attorneys be eating off these divorces, man. Legal docs reportedly state Young's attorneys have already made more money off of Dr. Dre in the last 2 months than most Los Angeles residents make in a year. Dre is also reportedly allowing her to live in his $20 to $25 million Malibu mansion, where his security brings Young meals prepared by private chefs 3 to 5 times a week. His business manager also allegedly pays Young Amex Centurion Black Card, and those bills range from $150,000 to $350,000 per month. Earlier this month, Dre scored a major victory in a case where a judge shut down Young's request. Since then, Young has seemingly been on a mission to squeeze him for everything he's worth, leading Dr. Dre to allegedly call Young's behavior the wrath of an angry person. Oh yeah. It is definitely the wrath of an angry person, a bitter person, a greedy person. Young was recently accused of pilfering money from Record One Recording Studio, a company she and Dre founded together in 2015. Record One is operated by an LLC along with co-owner Larry Chapman, who claims Young withdrew over $300,000 from the company in August. They need to investigate that. Instead of trying to get money out of Dre, they need to say, hey, what's going on? Why is it that she took out this money? Why y'all coming at me talking about what I owe? Look at what she took. Look at what she took. And she's still coming after me for money. Let me just say this about these divorce lawyers. These divorce lawyers are making a lot of money off these divorces. A lot of attorneys have been eaten this year. The pandemic has not slowed down these attorneys. These attorneys have been eating real good off of these divorces, man. This has been a good year for these divorce attorneys, man. They are making millions these years. Look at how many divorces have happened over the past 4 or 5 months. These attorneys have been making a lot of money off of these divorces. And that's what happens when people be together for so long, that when these situations happen, when they have to quarantine together, they realize, I don't really like this person. I've been holding on to them far too long. The men are not going to file for divorce, but the women will. Look at Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler divorces his wife. It's supposed to be amicable, but when she realizes that, you know, he's being smart about his money and he's not going to be paying her what she thought she's going to get, now she wants to make it messier and messier. And these attorneys have been eating very well this summer. Very well. Okay, let's see. Now let's get to the blasts. Dr. Dre's alleged mistress speaks out after his wife drags her into the divorce. Dr. Dre's alleged mistress posted a cryptic message on social media hours after the music mogul's wife, Nicole Young, dragged her into the messy divorce. Dre and his wife Nicole are battling it out in court and fighting over a reported $1 billion estate. At the moment, she's fighting for $2 million a year in temporary support. $2 million a month. Excuse me, $2 million a month in temporary support. Dre countered with accusations she stole from his company. She's now pulling out the alleged side pieces. Here we go. Here we go. This is an appeal for the court of public opinion. Now, this is one of them. She's a singer. Okay, now recently, Daily Mail broke the story. Nicole filed documents demanding she be allowed to question 3 of Dre's alleged mistresses. She's fired off subpoenas to 3 women she wants to sit for a deposition. The women are singer-songwriter Jill Spear, model Kelly Anderson, and Crystal Rogers. Nicole believes they are former lovers of her estranged husband and have information key to the divorce battle. Keely and Crystal have set their social media to private. During the battle, Jillian has been posting a bunch of long quotes on her profile. This is the one I said looks similar to his wife. And what's interesting is that she's the main one who's speaking out. The other women have sort of backed off and said, you know what, I don't want no part of this. Because they don't want people to know that they're side chicks, that they are concubines, so to speak. They don't want people to know that. It devalues them. In their minds, it devalues them. It's hindering what career moves they want to make. So they're like, I want no parts of this. They've hired attorneys and they're like, get this thing thrown out. I don't want this because I don't want to be a part of this. All right. She posted a photo of her playing the guitar in her living room. Jillian wrote a lengthy note which spoke about forgiveness. She asked for forgiveness for the harm we humans have brought down upon them. Don't worry, the heart knows the way, though. There may be high-rises, interstates, checkpoints, armed soldiers, massacres, wars, and those who despise you because they despise themselves. The journey might take you a few hours, a day, a year, a few years, 100, 1,000, or even more. Watch your mind. Okay, let me say this. I'm all for inspiration, but again, when you get caught up with a married man, eventually it's gonna come back on you. Maybe not soon, but sometime down the line. Now, maybe she's asking for forgiveness for herself. Now, she has about 20,000 followers, okay? She has a base of people that support her, that like her, right? And she's appealing to those people because she don't want those people to look at her any differently. And what's interesting is that it's not a man that's doing this to her. It's a woman. It's a woman exposing her as a side chick to her husband. Because what I told y'all, women have this jealousy towards each other. And if they need to, or if they have to, they will put other women out there to be exposed, to be ridiculed in order to help themselves out. In order to help themselves out. And that's what it seemed like has happened. Now, I don't know if she still was dealing with Dre. Maybe she was somebody from a couple years ago, a couple months ago. Who knows? Maybe Dre was dealing with her when they broke up earlier in the year. But I just find it interesting how you got these women who talk about togetherness and sisterhood when they're willing to throw each other under the bus to enrich themselves, to help themselves. Nicole Young did not have to do this, but this is what happens when you get desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And those desperate measures was to put this woman out here as if she is, and other women, as if they owe her something. Now again, this is what happens when you deal with married men. You may get caught, you may not. Which is why you got to be careful out here. A lot of these chicks ain't careful. They want to be with somebody so bad they're willing to deal with somebody in a situation that may get them caught up in the long run. Shout out to Vern85 with the super chat. Naima Buckner. Like the stream, people. We need more likes. And this is the Instagram post here. Let's see. Earlier this year, Dr. Dre's wife, Nicole, filed for divorce following 24 years of marriage. In her petition, Nicole did not list a prenuptial agreement. Dre responded to Nicole's divorce petition claiming they did have a prenup. He claimed to be willing to pay Nicole's spousal support but wanted the alleged prenup enforced. He disagreed that Nicole should be awarded division of their marital property. The mogul listed the date of separation as March 27th, weeks into the pandemic. Nicole requested $2 million a month of temporary support. Dre says Nicole doesn't need that much money. I agree. Why do you need that much money? Just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But the greed is real. The greed is definitely real in this situation, man. And she's getting to measures of desperation that just shows you that she just did not understand business, and she did not understand Dre. Dre was not going to lose what he has built. He was not going to lose what he has built, and he was going to protect it by any means necessary.